Hello, viewers. This is Paladin of Odin, and this is some more Magic the Gathering Online. This is another episode of the Standard Commentary Series, and it looks like we've got Orzhov Control versus Bant Aggro. And honestly, I think Orzhov Control has a really good matchup against Bant Aggro because in black and white, you have access to a ridiculous number of creature control cards. I mean, he just threw down Languish to kill off Duskwatch Recruiter and Duskwatch Recruiter. But, you know, not just Languish. They have Planar Outburst, they have Descend Upon the Sinful, they have perhaps Stasis Snare, Ultimate Price, Grasp of Darkness, Declaration in Stone. Ob Nixilis is another answer for a creature. And most of what Bant Aggro plays are creatures. Though Valley Smasher is not typical, but it's still a very good card. And in this situation, it knocks Ob Nixilis down to one loyalty counter, so he can't even target the Reality Smasher with Ob Nixilis to get rid of it. So, to get any use out of Ob, he has to go +1. Also, Bant is playing Cryptolith Right, which is also not usual. And Read the Bones. Scry 2, draw 2, lose 2. So, 6 cards in hand. If he does have an answer for the Reality Smasher, he should have a card that he can willingly discard. You know, sometimes it's a real hard choice, but, you know, when you have that many cards, I think he probably has something in mind already. So, Ruinous Path to kill off the Reality Smasher. Discards a Swamp. So, like I said, answers and more answers. I didn't even mention Ruinous Path, because honestly, I forgot. Lumbering Falls. So, manning up the Lumbering Falls, it's a 3/3 hexproof, and that'll kill off Ob Nixilis. Because even though his opponent's at 10, you can't really miss an opportunity to kill a Planeswalker when your opponent can't do anything about it. And Gideon, ally of Zendikar. So, making the Knight token to try and protect himself. At the very least, he could man up the Lumbering Falls and go in after Gideon. But it's not too hard for Bant to get rid of a creature either. Reflector Mage. Point in case. But it will mean that he won't have something to attack with this turn. That's the problem with having to rely on a manland at this time, is it costs a lot to get this guy manned up. Eldrazi Skyspawner. So he does have a few options next turn. You know, he's got 5 power on the board. So regardless of what Gideon does, he has enough power to kill it. It's just a matter of getting all that damage on target. But now it's Orzhov's turn, and Languish to clear the board again. But more importantly, Bant is down to 1 card in hand. Orzhov only has 2, but, you know, slight advantage, and he has a better board state with the Gideon being able to keep making 2/2s to block manlands or anything else that comes around. Duskwatch Recruiter. That could solve his hand count problem, provided it lives long enough. At the moment, he's got one card in hand. He's got 4 mana available. Can't. Oh, and Grasp of Darkness at the end of turn to kill it. So at the moment, unless he has something better to do, he's activating the Duskwatch Recruiter and hoping to find a creature. And you really do gotta hope, because looking in 3 cards isn't very deep. But he did just find a Reality Smasher, which could be very difficult for Orzhov to deal with, given that he's on so low card count as well. At this point, he almost has to just not play anything so that he has 2 cards in hand if he has a kill card, for example. Because he'll have to discard to get rid of the Reality Smasher. So manning up Gideon, going all in for 7. And with an aggressive like this, I have to assume he's either planning on blocking the Reality Smasher with the Shambling Vent, or he's got an answer in hand. So down goes the Reality Smasher, and pretty sure he's going to go after Gideon here. 5 power, 5 loyalty counters. If he can get through, Gideon dies. Beginning of combat. Anguished Unmaking. And there you go. That's another card that can kill a creature. Oh, wow. He didn't discard a card. And he didn't man up the Shambling Vent. I think that mistake with Anguished Unmaking basically took him out of the game, mindset. Because by no means was that, Gideon's guaranteed death. Because if he had manned up the Shambling Vent, Gideon would have taken 3. No, 2. Shambling Vent has 3 toughness. So he'd be at 3. You could man him up again, attack in for 7 more, put him down to 4. And Ruinous Path with Awaken. Discards an Anguished Unmaking. Alright, so this time he does manage to kill the Reality Smasher, and he gets a 4/4 out of the deal, so that's 6 damage. So this Bant deck is down to 5. Two cards in hand. Elvish Visionary. Well, good chump blocker. Draws him a card. Hopefully he gets an answer out of that card. And passing the turn. He could have really used something like a Reflector Mage there. Because nothing worse than bouncing an Awakened Land, or, a token creature. The token goes away forever. The land comes back as just a land. And Orzhov goes straight into combat, attacking all in. Manning up the Lumbering Falls. He had to pain for 1 of the mana, so he's down to 4. Now, he could group block the Swamp, take 2, and kill the 4/4. Or block like that, chump block the 4/4, kill off the Knight token with the Lumbering Falls and not take any damage. Either way would have bought him a turn. Another Elvish Visionary. Alright, so pretty much guaranteed another turn here to try and find a way to get rid of that 4/4. And there's the Reflector Mage. He had to pain for the mana again. Which, honestly, he didn't have to. He didn't have enough mana to man up the Lumbering Falls, so he could have used it for the blue mana, saved himself a life. Because even though most of the cards that do such are garbage, Black does have an impressive suite of cards that can cause a player to lose life. A third Elvish Visionary. And an Eldrazi Sky Spawner. So getting a nice little board full of weenies here. And he can afford to attack in here. At the moment, the only thing that he could do is man up the Shambling Vent. But then again, even if he could block the Reflector Mage with the Shambling Vent, gain 2, take 1, and end off better off. So, actually, yeah, not attacking was a better solution there. 5 mana. He has the mana. He could be playing Planar Outburst with Awaken. Because at the moment, he really does need a board clear. I mean, these guys are small creatures, but the problem is he has a lot of them. And he has very few cards. Even if he had many cards, it would really suck to have to kill each of those creatures individually with a spell. And Planar Outburst with Awaken, choosing the Swamp. So, oh, and Bant concedes. And I don't really blame him. The two of them were basically in a back and forth of top decks, and unfortunately for Bant, Orzhov got better top decks, creature kills, and in that situation, a way to wipe out his army, which took him a lot of work to get at this late stage. But that was a long fight, but then again, usually in control games, they last longer than any of the other games. So I'm going to end the video here. That was Orzhov Control versus an odd Bant Aggro deck. And if you liked what you saw, hit that like and subscribe button for me, and I'll see you in the next video.